I love when comics touch upon religion and mythology. More commonly than others though, they tend to only touch on Norse or Greek mythology, and at times Egyptian and Shinto mythologies. Real religions that are still practiced and worshipped are usually kept as just cameos or vague in comics, due to fear of offending and losing potential readers, which is understandable. While I admit, there is a way to approach modern religion tastefully in entertainment, certain comics just don't do it right. DC Comics, however, does it generally the best in my opinion. They try to take a universalist or the coexisting approach, such as the Abrahamic God known as the Presence in DC Comics created all religions equally. He also is the energy or God wave that created the other lesser gods. That is usually the continuity so that nobody, or at least less people, get offended. If you still worship Thor or Cernunnos or Pan, then I'm sorry, but they might die in comics by the hands of like Batman or something, while Vishnu and Jesus might just get a name drop. It won't be part of a major story. See, I like to see the DC multiverse sort of how the game DC Universe Online's mentor system puts it out to be. There are meta heroes and villains like Superman, Doomsday, and Martian Manhunter. Their power is more genetic based and comes from their DNA as the source. There are tech based heroes like Batman, Deathstroke, and Cyborg who obviously use technology and skill as their power, quote unquote. And my favorite, the magic characters like Wonder Woman, Trigon, and Shazam, whose powers are much more arcane based and come from other dimensions, realities, and enchanted and higher beings. Now, among the three trees, obviously the technology is more commonly the least powerful unless you go into like some time manipulation or space bending tech. Meta being in the middle of the two, who's most powerful is probably someone like the Anti-Monitor or the Monitors themselves. And to me, magic heroes seem to be the most overpowered, with beings like John Constantine, the Spectre, Mr. Mxyzptlk, and as mentioned before, God himself, the Presence. But one of my absolute favorite characters that doesn't get that much recognition, as you see in the title of this video, is the angel Zauriel. Zauriel, created by Grant Morrison, Mark Miller, and Howard Porter, is an angel of the Eagle host of angels, which was part of the Pax Dei. Pax Dei were the army of heaven, also called the Silver City, which were in charge of keeping the peace of the Presence or God. Heaven is a realm in the multiverse that exists in the sphere of the gods, along with the realms like Skyland, where the Greek, Egyptian, Hindu, Oceanic, Norse, and so on's god pantheons reside. Hell, where demons and Lucifer ruled for a time, where souls go to be punished. New Genesis and Apocalypse, etc. Heaven itself is the realm where the just souls who do specific deeds get to spend an eternity with their own pocket dimension of, well, heaven. Heaven is an endless plane of peace, fitting for the throne of God, or the Presence, and the rest of the angels to reside. All metaphysical realms existing on a higher plane than all other realms, only surpassed by the Monitor sphere and the Source. Heaven, or the Silver City, has 4 hosts of angels, them being eagle, bull, human, and lion. Belonging to each host gives each angel his or her own special ability specific to that host. Besides the general base powers that angels have in DC Comics, such as superhuman abilities of strength, speed, and durability, time manipulation, wings that give them flight, and an inherent divine connection to magic and magical frequencies. All angels were created at the dawn of creation, so they are some of the most experienced beings in all of existence in mind, intelligence, and fighting capability. Angels used to battle with Wonder Woman and the Amazons and often could overpower them. Though, of course, due to Wonder Woman being a popular hero, she'd win most of her battles with them. But that's just me nitpicking. I just think even the weakest angel should be able to mop the floor with her, but comics should never be criticized on, accuracy. Power specific to the host of the Eagle is the ability to have a sonic shout that can shatter almost anything. Zauriel's sonic scream alone could vaporize any angel in milliseconds. He also carries a flaming sword that vaporized even the Phantom Stranger, who is said to rival the nigh-omnipotent Spectre on power level. Abilities of the Bull host of angels is the ability to shoot beams of light from their hands and eyes. But the king angel Asmodel of the bull host of angels, who we will touch on later, has a sonic shout that can shatter any form of matter and possibly realities. So due to hierarchy, certain angels have greater or more gifts. Archangels like Michael and Gabriel and Lucifer surpass even them and are second only to the presence and power, making them omnipotent or at least non-omnipotent beings. Outside of Zauriel and his affiliates and enemies, not much is known about the angels. I wish there was more information on what the lion hosts and human hosts were capable of. The four hosts I believe comes from the book of Ezekiel in the Bible, where the depiction of a cherubim is expressed to having the head of a lion, ox, eagle, and man, as well as other strange features like multiple pairs of wings and so on. Each of these in scripture is a metaphorical, it's just metaphorical to certain gospels. But I assume this is the direct inspiration for the idea of the four hosts, which is awesome to me. But back to Zauriel, he was mostly the guardian angel assigned to protecting powerful women figures in history like Cleopatra, Mona Lisa, Joan of Arc, and so on. With his strong connection to Earth, he eventually finally fell in love with a mortal woman and gladly gave up his immortality to be with her. The king angels granted him this after warning him of the story of Michael, who once fell in love as well with a mortal woman and was not allowed back in heaven. In shock, he would give so much power for this in trying to prevent catastrophe. However, at the same time, Zauriel overheard the plans of Asmodel, the aforementioned king angel of the bull host and general of heaven's army, to overthrow the presence on his throne. He wished to succeed where Lucifer did not. Zauriel, overhearing this, is hunted by the bull host angel serving Asmodel, and wear temporary flesh to allow and kill Zauriel before he can warn heaven of their plans. This is what led to Zauriel finding and joining the Justice League of America, where they aid him. After defeating the bull host of angels and Asmodel, they offer Zauriel a permanent spot on the team, but he refuses at first to go and find and stay with his love. He finds her and confesses his love, but before he could finish, Asmodel returns with the help of the demon king Neron. Together they destroy the JLA watchtower and kill Martian Manhunter, and later on lead a charge on the Silver City itself, slaughtering everything in their path. They make it to the Presence's throne room only to find Zauriel. The Presence, like his name, is just that, everywhere and in everything. Therefore, there is no way to truly defeat him. In frustration, Neron enslaves the helpless Asmodel once again to serve him in hell for eternity. In the end, Zauriel sadly loses his love interest to her boyfriend. However, he becomes appointed by heaven to be their ambassador to Earth, being a symbol of hope to all. He is given special armor and Sword of Michael, arguably the most powerful weapon in existence. He is also given the place of residence called the Eyrie, which floats over Los Angeles. Zauriel's story doesn't end here, and there are many arcs of his where he battles Asmodel once again, who is bonded to the soul of the hostless Spectre. He ends up fighting Eclipso. He battles Blight, many major cosmic forces. There's so many stories on him. For more on him, if you want to get into it, I suggest reading JLA Paradise Lost number issue 2, JLA issue 7, JLA issue 41, Helmet of Fate, Zauriel issue 1, Shadow Pact issue 13, Reign in Hell issue 7, JLA issue 6. So much fun. Just go on Google. I don't really have too much issues of him, but I have some sources of him. In my opinion, Zauriel and the Abrahamic characters need more shine in DC Entertainment. Spectre only had a brief cameo in the Constantine show before it was canceled, and he was cameoed in Smallville. Zauriel is a very powerful and interesting character, and I hope to see more of him. I myself love angels in media. They're always depicted as being even stronger than gods of other religions. Hope you all enjoyed.